Welcome back to the Career Doctor channel. Today we're diving into a new development for Specialist International Medical Graduates, or SIMGs, in Australia. A new expedited pathway is now available and it promises to streamline the registration process for some eligible medical practitioners. Before we dive deeper, I want to declare that I currently work for the Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Psychiatrists, and there will be a forthcoming announcement regarding the specialty of psychiatry and this new expedited pathway. However, nothing I will discuss in this video is not already public information. So what exactly is this expedited pathway? Well, essentially it's a fast-tracked registration process designed specifically for those specialist IMGs who are deemed to possess a very high level of the necessary knowledge and skills. Essentially, it is intended to be a more streamlined assessment approach to the existing specialist pathway assessment. So this pathway aims to reduce the time and financial burden associated with the registration process for specialist IMGs with eligible qualifications, making it easier for skilled practitioners to contribute to the Australian healthcare system. One perhaps overlooked key benefit of the expedited pathway versus the specialist pathway is that if a specialist IMG is approved for the expedited pathway, they will have immediate access to specialist registration, which also means that they have immediate access to billing Medicare. Whereas under the existing specialist pathway, specialist IMGs generally do not have access to bill Medicare until they have completed the pathway, which is when they get specialist registration. So this change will be particularly useful for addressing gaps in the private sector in Australia, including general practice and primary care, as well as private hospitals. Now, whilst the expedited pathway is only likely to apply to SIMGs with qualifications from a limited number of countries, it could still assist other SIMGs by reducing the existing load of applicants going via the specialist pathway, thereby speeding up the assessment process overall for all specialist international medical graduates. But where did this initiative come from? Well, the new pathway is a part of a broader set of recommendations which were put forth in the recent independent review of overseas health practitioner regulatory settings. This report is commonly referred to as the Kruk report, which is named after its author. Key recommendations from this report include streamlining the evidence requirements for international practitioners, making it easier for employers to recruit international applicants to areas of shortage by removing the need to advertise domestically first, as well as extending the age limit for skilled visa applicants, improving national workforce planning, well, we've heard and seen that a few times before, making English proficiency slightly easier by reducing the expected level of written English, which I personally regard as a retrograde step, and finally, implementing expedited pathways for areas shortage, which is how we've arrived to this video today. So one of the key recommendations from that report is to introduce or expand expedited pathways for all professions facing shortages. This is particularly important in light of Australia's increasing demand for medical practitioners, especially in rural and remote areas. However, there are some concerns regarding the direct involvement of the Medical Board of Australia in making these critical decisions, which sidelines the colleges that have been the experts in their respective fields assessing specialists up until this point. The colleges, like my college, the Royal Australian New Zealand College of Psychiatrists, have invaluable insights into competency standards and training requirements, and the Medical Board has never before assessed the qualifications of any medical graduates. The risk here is that decisions made without extensive input from these expert bodies, the colleges, could lead to inconsistencies in the quality of care provided and undermine the rigorous standards established by the colleges. A strength of the current specialist pathway is that once a specialist IMG is qualified, they are then eligible to become a fellow of the relevant college in Australia and New Zealand, and they receive the support of a network of other fellows and access to the college's continuing professional development program. Now, the expedited pathway will have no formal linkage to the specialty colleges, so it's unclear what happens to those SIMGs who qualify and go through the required 6-month probation period. We are a bit at risk of developing a separate group of specialists in Australia who are not held to the same set of standards by the colleges. Involving those colleges who have a deep understanding of the specialty may actually lead to better outcomes for both practitioners and patients alike, and I do hope that sense comes to prevail. So who qualifies for this expedited pathway? Well, while details are still emerging, it primarily targets specialist IMGs who meet specific competency criteria established by the Medical Board of Australia. These have been developed with some consultation with the colleges, but the final call has rested with the Medical Board of Australia. So far, the Medical Board, in collaboration with the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners and the Australian College of Rural and Remote Medicine, is prioritising pathways for those with recognised fellowships in general practice from countries like New Zealand, Ireland and the UK. Now this month we are expecting an announcement about anaesthesia as well as psychiatry, and early next year, the following month, obstetrics and gynecology. The health ministers in Australia, who are ultimately determining which specialties should be part of this expedited pathway, have announced that in 2025 the next specialties for consideration will be adult general medicine and general paediatrics, which both fall under the Royal Australasian College of Physicians, and diagnostic radiology. So the introduction of these expedited pathways is expected to enhance the efficiency of the registration process, saving both time and costs. For instance, eligible IMGs could save up to tens of thousands of dollars through this process. So if you're an SIMG considering this new pathway, or if you want to stay informed about the latest developments in healthcare registration in Australia, be sure to subscribe to the Career Doctor channel. We'll keep you updated with the most relevant information to help you navigate your career in Australia. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and share it with your fellow doctor colleagues, and I'll see you in the next video.